And my first guess was suits. Sorry, Finn. This is where bottled beer was discovered.
Not now.
Not now. Mere cleverness is ineffective in most walks of life, and certainly doesn't make a great lawyer. In the legal field, it is wiser to be good than clever. While I won't claim to know whether goodness or cleverness are more important, I can say with certainty that Brasenose has an abundance of good spirit, passed down from generation to generation, from law student to law student. Perhaps this enduring spirit of Brasenose traces back to the fact that this is where bottled beer was discovered. Or perhaps it is difficult to not have good spirit as the only college to have hosted the Beatles. This camaraderie and spirit found a home within the Ellesmere Society, especially under the guidance of William Stalingrad. When Stalingrad saw students near the library, he knew them by name. He spoke to the students about sport and about their families. He joined the students at the bar, raising a glass to both their wins and their losses, because losses must be celebrated just as much as wins, he said. Today, we sit in the same dining hall that Stalingrad sat in, the same dining hall where Emeric Claudiu delivered a speech on intention and punishment, the same hall where Sir George Baker spoke on the Nuremberg trials, and the same place where the very first Ellesmere dinner was held 102 years ago. The very first Ellesmere dinner was followed by an impromptu moot court, which according to reports achieved high levels of legal acumen, but an even higher standard of impromptu humor. Which is just a diplomatic way to say that the legal arguments may have been somewhat improvised, but were handled with good spirit. This tradition of having an impromptu moot court continues even today. And it is a tradition.
Not now.
Not now. No, it's not going to be. And it is a tradition that our presidents will be subject to next weekend. To them, I have 4 things to say. First, carry a jacket because I'm afraid it tends to get cold. Second, when you get something wrong, how you react to it is far more important than what you actually got wrong. Third, you are going to have under 24 hours to prepare your submission, so read the cases and draft your arguments side by side. And finally, take the moot lightly and have a really good time, because you have the spirit of Brasenose to uphold. Brasenose has held a standing as amongst the finest places to study law at Oxford and by extension in the world, not by virtue of the fact that we have a separate law live stream, which I will because we have some incredible, tenacious and kind people here. Thank you for being part of Law at Brasenose, and thank you for being here tonight. With that, my speech comes to an end, and it falls upon me to say some quick thanks. Toby will be going into more detail about everyone that made the night possible, but I doubt he will be thanking himself. Toby has been a constant pillar of support and has served as, I would argue, the best treasurer that the Ellesmere Society has ever had. Sorry, Finn. Having acquired the largest sponsorship amount we have ever had, Toby has done it all, from emailing sponsors invoices to making executive decisions, like whether or not it is appropriate to play table tennis during a committee meeting. Professor Swadling has been another such pillar of support, and you have him to thank for picking the delicious food you are having right now. If it were up to me, we would be having just a coffee-themed dessert for all 5 courses. A slightly unrelated thanks to my mom, who will be watching this recording in full, and from whom I get my affinity for coffee. Finally, and most sincerely, a big thank you to Sir Nicholas Lavender, whom it is my pleasure to now introduce. When I asked Sir Nicholas why he chose to study law, he told me that he was inspired by a TV show. And my first guess was Suits. But no, it wasn't Suits. It was The Uncle of the Bailey. The Uncle of the Bailey was a television show that first aired in 1975. I didn't know this at the time of the conversation, and I'm not sure if Sir Nicholas did either, but I found later during my research that The Uncle of the Bailey was actually written by a Brasenose student, John Mortimer. It is fitting then that tonight Sir Nicholas speaks to us at Brasenose College, where Mortimer himself once studied. Thank you, Sir Nicholas, for being here this evening, and the floor is yours for the